Morning, you guys. Morning, morning, morning. So today we are making dinner and we are going to do a fun fall meal. Who doesn't love a fun fall meal in the fall? Come on, come on. We are doing a broccoli cheese soup, a very easy one, probably the easiest one I've ever seen. And then we are going to do an easy beer bread that does not need any yeast because I never seem to have that on hand. So come along and we'll make an easy beer bread and broccoli cheese soup for dinner. So this bread is going to start with your typical bread ingredients, okay? That's 3 cups of flour. I used all purpose, so I also had to add in 2 tablespoons of baking powder and some salt. If you use self-rising, just 3 cups of flour will do it. And then I added in a 1/4 cup of sugar to this mix. Now I'm going to take these dry ingredients here and I'm going to take a Blue Moon. That is my beer of choice. And I'm just going to pour it right in there. This is your yeasting agent. And we're going to mix this up really well. Just a couple of minutes of stirring and I have a beautiful dough. I'm going to let that set for just a few seconds while I spray my mini loaf pan. Okay, so we got 4 mini loaves of beer bread going into the oven. The last thing we're going to do before we put it in the oven at 375 is pour some melted butter over the top. So I'm going to melt the butter to start the soup, and I'm going to pour some of that over top. Okay, so we're just melting down this couple of tablespoons of butter in the bottom of a soup pan. I'm making a roux here. Now, if your family likes onion, this would be where you would dice up some onion and you would cook it down and brown it and get a really nice onion flavor going. My family, as you know, are notorious for not liking a lot of onion. So I'm just going to make a roux here. I've got the butter melting. I'm going to put some flour in there. Get a real nice roux before I add 2.5 cups of whole milk to it. Okay, so we did a little roux, which you just melt that 2 tablespoons of butter, put a tablespoon or a teaspoon of flour in there, and cook it down until it's, made a brown clumpiness. And now we are boiling 2.5 cups of milk in there with that roux. Once this comes to a boil, we're going to turn it down to a simmer. And we're going to start adding our cheese and our pre-cooked broccoli. Let me show you the broccoli. So there's the broccoli, and I made way more than what I needed. You only need about an 8-ounce bag. So I'm going to use about half of this, but I am going to fish through there and mostly use the florets and also cut it down a bit more into bite-sized pieces. Our milk is thoroughly boiling, so we put it down to simmer. I'm going to let it simmer for about a minute once it stops roaring boiling. Then I'm going to start adding my shredded Velveeta cheese and my broccoli. Okay, we're adding in 1 8-ounce package of shredded Velveeta cheese. You can use regular Velveeta and cube it up, but I find that the shreds work a lot better for soup making. Okay guys, I've put in about 1 bag of broccoli, of cooked broccoli, so typically between 8 and 10 ounces, and then I've put in about 10 ounces of shredded Velveeta. I've turned my burner as low as my burner will go. This is a brand new stove and it is not cooling as much as I would like it to. So I'm going to sit here and stir it. But once the burner has cooled, I'm going to simmer it until the bread is done with the lid on it and turn it into a gorgeous broccoli cheddar soup that is just going to be amazing for the family to go with this beer bread. Look at those breads cooking away. This is our 30-minute check. They are not done yet, so I'm going to give them probably 8 to 10 and check them one more time. My favorite thing about this soup, guys, is that you can doctor it up to whatever your family likes. If you need it to be a little bit heartier than what this will be, like, we'll dip our bread in it and stuff, and it'll be very filling. You can add cubed ham, though. I've done that before. It's very good. I've known people to put rice and have broccoli rice soup. You can put just about anything in this as long as the profile of the flavors goes well together. We're going to do it pretty simple. This is pretty much done. Continues to thicken as it simmers and cools there. But yeah, this is going to be so good with this beer bread dipped. Okay, perfectly cooked at exactly 40 minutes, just like I thought. I took about 20 minutes off the cook time. With a bread like this, of course, you want it to rest at least 15 minutes before you even try to cut it. It needs to be completely cool. I cannot advise that enough. Please cool your bread before you try to cut it, especially if it's a non-traditional loaf like a beer loaf like this. And then we also have our soup done. It's over here. It looks amazing. Oh my goodness. So thank you guys so much for coming along. My family of three's dinner. I hope you can utilize this as well. If you have a larger family, you can easily double this recipe. I will let you know I vaguely use a Taste of Home beer bread recipe and a Velveeta broccoli cheese recipe for the soup. So if you need more written down directions, you can find those there. But yeah, this is just a really quick, really easy meal for my family, and it's great on a fall night. See you guys later this week.